Namaskar friends, this is NJ, host on this channel, continuing our discussion on understanding the different ascendant in the D9 chart. In this video, we will try to understand the importance or the results of Gemini as your ascendant in the D9 chart. So okay friends, before we will start our discussion on today's current topic, the two contributing elements to understand this discussion are the importance of D9 chart in Vedic astrology analysis. So first we are going to do that. The second contributing element is the importance of a different ascendant or a specific ascendant in the D9 chart. So we will also try to understand the importance of that. Along with that, the significant features of the Gemini sign. And after doing a quick revision of these two contributing elements, then we will continue our discussion on today's current topic. So okay guys, first if you have to understand the importance of this D9 chart, so a lot of importance has been attached to this chart in our Vedic astrological analysis. The calculation part of this chart is very simple. This chart is derived by making a ninth division of the zodiac sign from your original ascendant chart. I mean to say guys, if you will key in your details in any of the Vedic astrology software along with the main ascendant chart, you will be provided with this D9 chart. So I mean to say this chart to begin with validates the two strength of the planets placed in your main ascendant chart. So let's say for example, if planets like Mars or Saturn or Jupiter are weakly placed in your main ascendant chart, but if the same planets are well placed in this chart, so that means those planets roots are very strong. In their time period, good results can be attained. The second prospect or feature of studying the D9 chart is that this chart tells about your spiritual prospects, your luck prospects, your capacity to do good spiritual and religious deeds, to stick to the righteous deeds, and along with being very firm on your purpose in this lifetime. You can also look at it from that way, because guys, whenever we talk about whether it's the number 9 or 9th division or original 9th house in our astrological chart, that just tells about divine standards, humanitarian deeds, good deeds, good morals, ethics. So you can also look at it from that ways. And the third feature of studying the D9 chart is that this chart gives comprehensive information about your matrimonial life. I mean to say guys, when we look at the main ascendant chart, so in our main ascendant chart, it combines all different areas of our life. Like one house can give information about your relationship with children, one house could give information about your career prospect. But when we talk about, or when we open this D9 chart, this chart exclusively give information about your soul purpose in this lifetime, your spiritual prospects, and along with that, the influence, impact and contribution of matrimonial life in your this lifetime. You can also look at it from that ways. It will not be an exaggeration to call this chart as the caricature of your soul needs. So I mean to say, if our main ascendant chart, or if astrology, Jyotish is seen as the eyes of the Vedas, so it will not be an exaggeration to call this D9 chart as the heartbeat of your main ascendant chart. So okay guys, these all are the significant features or importance of studying the D9 chart. Now guys, if we have to understand the importance of different ascendant, so you have to understand this thing that whichsoever divisional chart you are studying, the first house, which is also known as the ascendant, just tells about the underlying theme of that area of life being represented by that divisional chart. It paves the foundation of that complete divisional chart. So I mean to say, the results or the features of all the houses are going to be the same. The only thing which is going to matter is that just on the basis of which sign is coming on the first house or on the ascendant, the corresponding numbers are going to come in the different houses, and that is going to decide that if the features of the house is fixed, but on the basis of the presence of the zodiac sign, what kind of environment, what kind of energies you are going to find in that house once you will enter that house. So I mean to say guys, if you have to understand the significant features of the Gemini sign, so we all know that Gemini is a sign which is being ruled by the planet Mercury. a planet which represents communication, travel, all form of adventure, how skilled you are, a good sense of humor, your public speaking abilities. So these all are the qualities which completely manifest themselves in this Gemini sign. Because when we talk about the signs ruled by planet Mercury, Mercury rules Gemini sign and the Virgo sign, but the Virgo sign carries more perfectionist qualities of the planet Mercury. But when we talk about the playfulness side of the Mercury, so all these qualities goes in this sign of the Gemini. So I mean to say, it is a air element sign, it is a dual sign. So when we talk about travel, when we talk about adventure, language expertise, expertise in mathematics, accounting, finance, so all these qualities can be attributed to this sign of Gemini. So guys, now we are going to start our discussion on today's current topic. So first thing which you have to understand is that many Vedic astrologers also resort to this conclusion that after your second half of life, you progress more towards, from your ascendant chart, you transitioned more towards your D9 chart, because that is the time when you start giving attention to your soul needs. So when we talk about the second half of life, this could happen after your marriage, this could happen after your Saturn return, or after the maturity of the Saturn, which is 36 years of age. But if I were to give my personal opinion, the energies, the vibrations of the D9 chart always remains in your life, always governs your life. You can also look at it from that ways. And guys, like the way I was telling it to you, if you have to get into the mathematical part, so or the fire ascendant, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, with their ascendant being placed in certain alignments, they can get Gemini as their ascendant in the D9 chart. The second is all the earth ascendant. When we talk about Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, if their ascendant will be placed in certain alignments, they can also get Gemini as their ascendant in the D9 chart. And last being the air element signs. When we talk about the Gemini, we talk about Libra, we talk about Aquarius. So if their ascendant being placed in certain alignments, they can also get this Gemini ascendant in the D9 chart. But the water ascendant signs like Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces cannot get Gemini as their ascendant in the D9 chart. Now, if you have to only emphasize on these three elements, like for example, if you have fire sign as your ascendant in the D1 chart and you have got Gemini as your ascendant in the D9 chart, so you can understand and look at it from that way, is that your life is definitely going to transition towards being very playful, being very jovial, and at the same time very much concerned about your hobbies. So you can also look at it from that ways, that just because of having fire sign as your ascendant, you have that innate energy, enthusiasm, adventure, but at the same time you're also always in the pursuit of the acquisition of knowledge and living the fun side of the life. You can also look at it from that ways. And guys, I forgot to bring this thing to your attention, that when we talk about whatsoever ascendant you have, wheresoever the ascendant of your D9 chart is falling in that house, you can also look at it from that way, that that area of your life is going to play a strong role in transitioning you or connecting you towards your soul purpose. You can also look at it from that ways. So I mean to say, for the Aries ascendant in the D1 chart, so obviously Gemini sign is going to fall on your third house. So I mean to say, your courage, your valor, significations of your connections, your relationship with your friends, with your younger siblings are definitely going to play a very important role in connecting you to the signification of your D9 chart or your soul purpose. You can also look at it from that ways. If you have to understand it from the perspective of a Leo as someone's ascendant in the D1 chart, so I mean to say the Gemini sign is going to fall on your 11th house. So I mean to say the highest of your wish fulfillment can happen only by remaining very righteous and very disciplined towards your spiritual duties, religious duties. You can also look at it from that ways. Now the second way to look at or decode this transition is that, let's say for example, if someone who is going to have a earth element ascendant in the D1 chart, so you can look at it from that way, is that somehow you manifest, you project yourself as someone who is very practical, who is very realistic, who is very concrete, or who is very much organized or wants stability in his life. But at the same time, the underlying forces or the energies want you to be playful at the same time. I mean to say, for a Taurus ascendant in the D1 chart, your family is definitely going to play a very important role in transition you towards what your soul desire in this lifetime. You can also look at it from that ways. For a Virgo ascendant in the D1 chart, definitely what you do in this lifetime, your public duties, your karma, your deeds are definitely going to decide how righteous they are, how monitored they are. So I mean to say, that is definitely going to have a say in transition you towards the fruits of your D9 chart. And if we have to understand from the perspective of the Capricorn ascendant in the D1 chart, so guys, as you can fairly see, how you deal with challenges in the life, that is definitely going to decide how smoothly or gracefully you're going to transition in your matrimonial life, or you're going to transition towards your soul purpose. You can also look at it from that ways. And last thing guys, if you have to understand it from the air element ascendant, so let's say for example, if you have a Gemini ascendant in the D1 chart and you also have the Gemini ascendant in the D9 chart, so that is going to make your ascendant as the Virgotam. So that can be looked at from this particular way, that definitely you're going to be very skilled. You will always be in the pursuit of knowledge, and at the same time you hold the capacity to live your life in a very fun filled way, in a very relaxed mellowed way. You can also look at it from that ways. Moving ahead guys, if you have to look at it from the perspective of, if someone who has a Libra ascendant in the D1 chart, but you have got a Gemini ascendant in your D9 chart, so you can look at it from that ways, that the Gemini sign is going to fall in your 9th house. So I mean to say, your relationship with your father and how much attention you are going to put towards your religious austerities are definitely going to play a very important role in giving you the best results in the second half of life. And last guys, if you have to understand for all the Aquarius ascendant in the D1 chart, now as you can fairly see, the Gemini sign is going to fall on your 5th house. So I mean to say, how you are going to make use of your intellect, your decision making is definitely going to have, like how righteous your decision making is definitely going to have a say how smoothly or gracefully you are going to transition in your second half of life, attaining the best fruits of your D9 chart. You can also look at it from that ways. So okay guys, I have already given you a fair idea about making a correlation between your main ascendant chart and the D9 chart. Now we will try to understand that if you have your Gemini as your ascendant in the D9 chart, what all information can we derive of your matrimonial life or the second half of life, or rather I would say the cravings of your soul. So guys, the first house is definitely going to tell about that definitely your matrimonial life or in the second half of life, you will focus more towards acquisition of knowledge, working more in strengthening and getting perfection in your skill, having a knowledge of languages, and at the same time devoting yourself to your hobbies, to your desires, to your friends, and living life in a very mellowed way, in a very fun way. Because you must have seen all those people who, like, even if we have to talk about from the relationship perspective, who are very fun, who are very very fun to be around in their young days, but once they get married and in the second half of life, once the pressure of the responsibilities and the life starts coming in, people tend to become a bit rigid. So I mean to say, someone who has got a Gemini as their ascendant in the D9 chart, that is just going to give us this indication that native has the capacity to remain playful throughout the life or even in the second half of life. You can also look at it from that ways. If you will come to the second house of the D9 chart, so second house is going to tell about your values, your inherent values in the relationship, in the committed relationship, and at the same time the concerns of the finances in the household matters in your domestic life. So I mean to say, there you're going to find this energies of the Cancer sign, which is just going to give us this indication that yes, there could be little bit of the fluctuation in the matter of your household finances, so you need to give attention towards that. But at the same time, these are among those people who are definitely going to follow their matrimonial life with the values of emotions, with the values of need for each other and accommodating the need of others. You can also look at it from that ways. Moving ahead friends, if you will enter the third house of the D9 chart, you are going to find the energies of a regal sign of Leo. So I mean to say guys, when we talk about their devotion towards their craft, towards their skill, and at the same time how they communicate themselves within the marriage, so you will definitely find lot of dignity over there. So I mean to say, there will be high possibility. Now it all comes down to the placement of Sun in the D9 chart as well, but it is going to give us this indication that they are going to behave in a very righteous, in a very dignified way within the relationship. You can also look at it from that ways. And for all those people, like let's say for example, in your first half of life, you have all those dormant desires that you wanted to devote yourselves to farming, or you want to devote yourself to certain passion of yours. So in the second half of life, or the contribution of your life partner is definitely going to encourage you to fulfill your those desires, those dreams, those passion. You can also look at it from that ways. Moving ahead friends, if you will enter the fourth house of the D9 chart, here you are going to find the energies of the zodiac sign Virgo. So I mean to say, the same planet which rules the ascendant of your D9 chart is also ruling the fourth house of your domestic happiness from the matrimonial life as well. So I mean to say, you can look at it from that ways, that definitely you're going to have the capacity to attain happiness from your matrimonial life. You will definitely going to have an eye for detail attitude or very perfectionist approach towards the matters of your domestic life, because you are not among those who are just for the sake of society, or who is just for the sake of some sort of security in the matrimonial path, or chasing your desires or your sole purpose. You are among those people who actually want to derive happiness from the relationship. So that potential you hold from your matrimonial life, you can also look at it from that ways. Moving ahead friends, if you will enter the fifth house of the D9 chart, here you are going to find the energies of the planet Venus in the form of the Libra zodiac sign. And you cannot even ignore or overlook this fact that the same planet also rules their 12th house of passion as well. So I mean to say, there is definitely going to be strong potential and capacity to stay romantic, enjoy romance in the matrimonial path, and at the same time they will definitely have the capacity to speculate a lot or take lot of risk, which is required, which is necessary for the good sustenance of the relationship. You can also look at it from that ways. Moving ahead guys, if you will enter their sixth house of the matrimonial path or the D9 chart, here you are going to find the karmic energy of the planet Mars in the form of the Scorpio sign. So I mean to say, definitely they are going to have issues in the marriage as well, and I mean to say some of the ties of that a problem or source of problem could be connected with their past life as well. Like whatsoever deeds they are going to do in the relationship, they are actually going to face the consequence of the same as well. And at the same time, the planet Mars is not only ruling their house of challenges, but it is also ruling the house of their wish fulfillment as well, the house of their friends and social interaction as well. So that is one area of life where I want to give them this advice, that how they manage or how they make a balance of their friendship, their social engagements with their life partner, with their domestic life or the duties of the marriage. So that is something where they have to give special attention to. Or I mean to say, if you will find Mars to not be very well placed in the D9 chart, so that could also indicate towards that remaining too much obsessed towards your goals, towards your wishes, or some malevolent or malefic influence of a friend could cause rift, could cause problem in the domestic life, married life. So you have to remain bit cautious of that. Moving ahead guys, if you will enter the 7th house of the D9 chart, so here you are going to find the energies of the zodiac sign Sagittarius. And whenever we talk about the Sagittarius sign, it has only optimism and hope to give to us. So I mean to say, the life partner is definitely going to play a very pivotal, a very important role in encouraging the native towards his wish fulfillment, towards his the accomplishment of his soul purpose. Because you have to understand that when we open up the D9 chart, the scrutinization of the D9 chart just tells about that for whatsoever reason your soul has taken birth in this lifetime, how much cooperation, how much support your life partner is going to provide you in your this journey of life. So I mean to say, with this particular alignment, and let's say for example, if you will find Jupiter to be well placed in your D9 chart, so that means that your life partner is definitely going to play a very positive role towards your soul purpose in this lifetime. And matrimonial life partner is definitely going to be a source of guiding light in your life. You can also look at it from that ways. Moving ahead friends, if you will enter their 8th house, so 8th house and the 9th house is being ruled by the same planet Saturn. So I mean to say, when we talk about the 8th house, 8th house definitely tells about all form of gifts, wills, legacies, and at the same time this house also tells about your relationship with your in-laws as well. So I mean to say, there is definitely going to be a strong potential or chances that you are going to find a very dominant, or let's say for example very strengthened in-laws. So I mean to say, this will not be an exaggeration to say that your in-laws could be connected to judiciary, or they are very well placed or very in a place of power in the society. So I mean to say, all those possibilities can be foreseen if you will find Saturn to be well placed in your D9 chart. And at the same time, just because Saturn is also ruling your 9th house as well, so I mean to say, when we talk about your devotion towards your duties in the matrimonial life, or even if you have to understand from the perspective of that in the second half of life, you might start taking interest in spirituality, in religious austerities. So even from that perspective, this placement holds a lot of importance. I mean to say, because of the certain alignments in your chart, in your ascendant, in your D9 chart, there is a strong possibility that seeking refuge in the religion or religious austerities can actually bring transformation and healthy change in your life. You can also look at it from that ways. Moving ahead guys, if you have to understand the energies in the 10th house of the D9 chart, so that is going to give us this indication how you are being perceived in the society. Whatsoever deeds you are going to do in the second half of life or in your life, how they are being perceived in the society. So first of all, just because of the placement of a Pisces sign over here, it is going to give us this indication that yes, your couple or your matrimonial life is going to be perceived as someone who is very deeply, madly in love. So I mean to say, a couple who is very much into each other, very much devoted to each other, that kind of image will be perceived in the society about your matrimonial life. So that is one way to look at it. And the second way to look at this is that in your second half of life, or let's say for example, the signification of the D9 chart shouldn't be restricted only to marriage only. I mean to say, this chart completely tells about the craving of your soul. So I mean to say, this will not be an exaggeration to say this thing that your duties in this lifetime, your religious and righteous duties in this lifetime may ask for lot of sacrifice, lot of loss of energy from you. So you can also look at it from that ways. And let's say for example, if you will find Jupiter strengthened in your D9 chart, so I mean to say, all of your sacrifices could elevate your standing in the society, your level of consciousness. So that is also can be seen as a positive placement for the energies which are reverberating in your D9 chart. Moving ahead friends, if you will enter their 11th house, here you are going to find the energies of the planet Mars in the form of the Aries sign. So I mean to say, this will not be an exaggeration to say this thing that they could be little bit headstrong towards their wishes from the marriage. So I mean to say, here these people need to imbibe little bit of the contemplative approach, that how they are going to chase their common goals within the marriage. So let's say, for example, if one of the partner wants to migrate to another city, or he wants to quit a job or start his own venture, own business, so all those important decisions or your wishes or your goals need to be discussed thoroughly with your partner and needs to be taken with lot of contemplation. That is something which I want to advise over here, because Mars is not only ruling your 11th house, but at the same time it is also ruling a house of difficulties and obstacles in your chart as well, which is the 6th house. And last guys, if you have to understand the vibrations and energies in your 12th house, so I've already explained this thing, that when we talk about their romance or passion, so those two houses are being ruled by the same planet. So I mean to say, not only they hold the capacity to enjoy a very passionate life, but at the same time, whether you talk about a luxurious foreign travels, foreign adventures, so all those things can be promised for all the Gemini ascendant natives, either through marriage or in the second half of life. You can also look at it from that ways. So this is something guys which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs for all those people who are born with Gemini ascendant in their D9 chart. For further more updates and notifications on the science of astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Thank you.